Welcome back to the Chattable podcast, where enrich vocabulary and speak English with pride. I'm so glad you're joining us for this episode because we have a really clear mission today.
We do, and it's a fun one.
Yeah, it really is. So we are going to master two incredibly vivid English idioms. And, we're going to do that by looking at the fascinating, actual physical actions that these phrases come from.
Right, because language doesn't just come out of nowhere. It's tied to the body.
Exactly. And the setup for this episode is it's all about physical momentum. We're exploring two phrases that are exact opposites.
Opposites in a very literal sense.
Mm-hmm.
So one phrase is entirely about being forced to move, like physically pushed out.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is about the exact reverse. It's about being forced to completely involuntarily freeze.
Okay, let's unpack this because I want to start with that forced movement one.
Sure.
The idiom we're looking at first is to show someone the door. And really quickly, just the crucial grammar rule for you listening, standard English uses the verb show here, not give.
Right. You don't give someone the door, you show it to them.
Exactly. So on the surface, showing someone the door just means, rejecting them or maybe firing them from a job.
Making them feel entirely unwelcome.
Right. But where does it actually come from?
Well, you have to picture the literal origin to really get why this phrase hits so hard. Imagine a host, or maybe someone in power, physically standing up, walking you all the way to the exit and just pointing a finger at the door.
Wow.
Yeah, they are literally showing you the door. It communicates that you need to leave that space immediately.
That is incredibly aggressive. It's not a polite goodbye.
No, not at all. It's an eviction. And metaphorically, we use this today when institutions or people just cruelly dismiss someone's potential.
Right. They're breaking the relationship in a really harsh way.
Exactly.
Like that workplace example. Think of Maya. She's this dedicated employee, and she asks her boss for a well-deserved raise.
Right. A totally normal thing to do.
Totally normal. But her mean boss he harshly shows her the door. He shuts her down completely and calls her easily replaceable.
Which is devastating. He didn't literally walk her to his office door, but he showed her the door metaphorically by completely dismissing her value.
Mm-hmm. And there was another example that really got to me, the classroom one.
Oh, the cruel teacher.
Yeah. Imagine a teacher showing a young student the door by telling them they're bad at math and they're just never going to achieve anything.
It's heartbreaking. That teacher is aggressively shutting down that student's future. They are kicking their potential right out of the room.
Wait, okay, I have a specific question here, a scenario for you.
Go for it.
What if I have a friend over for dinner and, it's the end of the night, we've had a great time, and they are politely leaving? Can I smile and say, oh, let's show you the door?
Oh, no. No, please don't do that. If we connect this to the bigger picture, you'll see why that is just a terrible idea.
Really? Even if I say it nicely?
Even if you smile.
Yeah.
Because saying that to a friend makes it sound like you are forcing them out, like you're completely tired of them.
Oh, I see. It carries all that historical aggression.
Exactly. It turns a warm departure into a hostile rejection. So if you're with a friend, simply say, I'll walk you out.
I'll walk you out. Got it.
Say, showing someone the door. Strictly for those rude, forced exits.
That is such a good nuance to remember.
It really is.
Okay, so that's our idiom about forced movement out of a room. Yeah. But let's transition because the second one is about instant paralysis.
Right, the complete opposite.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Our second phrase is to stop in one's tracks.
Such a great phrase. And it takes us out of the office and right into the wilderness.
Yeah, tell us about the origins of this one. It's about hunting, right?
It is. It comes from hunting and tracking. So in nature, wild animals leave physical footprints or tracks in the mud or dirt or deep snow as they move.
Mm-hmm. The physical evidence of them moving forward.
Right. Now imagine that animal suddenly senses a predator or danger. It doesn't just slow down, it completely freezes mid-step.
It just locks up.
Literally standing right on top of its own footprints. It stops in its tracks.
Wow. So it's a pure survival instinct.
Exactly. And for humans, in everyday conversation, it means your mind or your body just completely freezes.
Due to sudden shock or terror.
Or deep surprise, yeah.
So it's not a physical predator anymore.
Usually not.
Right, like David in his neighborhood. So David is just driving home. He's totally relaxed, thinking about what to make for dinner.
His mind is wandering.
Exactly. When suddenly the incredibly loud blare of an ambulance and police sirens erupts right next to his car.
Which is terrifying when you don't expect it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And because there was a fatal car accident in his peaceful neighborhood, that sudden, shocking noise it stops him in his tracks.
Even though he's sitting down in a car.
Right. His physical body wasn't walking anywhere.
But his cognition, his train of thought, was completely frozen by the shock.
Yeah. And then we have Liam's story, which is basically the literal origin of the phrase playing out in real life.
Oh, the forest story.
Yeah. Liam is just walking in the dark woods, and the terrifying growl of a bear completely stops him in his tracks.
Pure biology taking over. He hears the bear, and his nervous system forces his body to freeze right in his own footprints.
Just like the deer in the snow.
Exactly. It's a sudden, violent arrest of your attention.
Okay, let me test this one too. So what if my friend Julian is stuck in his usual boring morning traffic jam on his way to work, creeping along? Did that traffic stop him in his tracks?
No. Absolutely not.
But his forward momentum stopped.
It did. But the idiom requires an element of sudden shock or surprise. Slow, expected delays, like Julian's daily traffic jam, they just do not count.
Because he saw the car slowing down from a mile away.
Right. There's no adrenaline rush there.
Yeah.
Stopped in your tracks is a storytelling tool. You use it specifically for sudden events that completely grab a person's attention.
That makes perfect sense. The suddenness is the key ingredient.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? Like, for you listening at home, what is the core takeaway here?
Well, I think it's about the imagery.
Yes. Both of these idioms are so powerful because they paint an immediate, visceral, visual picture. You are pointing someone to an exit, or you are freezing mid-step in the mud.
Right. It's not just abstract vocabulary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By visualizing these physical origins, you can really grasp the emotion of the phrase, and that lets you speak English with so much more confidence and pride.
Absolutely. And, thinking about all this actually leaves me with a thought I want to throw out there for you to chew on.
Oh, I like a good provocative thought. What is it?
Well, since these really vivid idioms came from the physical realities of our past, like tracking animals in the snow or pointing to a physical wooden door, it makes you wonder about the future.
How so?
Our physical world is so different now. So what modern physical actions are going to become the dramatic English idioms of the future?
Oh, like things we do with technology.
Exactly. Like violently snapping a laptop screen shut, or rapidly swiping on a smartphone, or hitting the mute button on a video call. Will people in 100 years be using those actions as metaphors for their deepest emotions?
Wow, he totally swiped left on my idea, or she just muted my entire argument.
Right. It's fascinating to think about how our current physical habits are secretly building the language of the future.
That is an amazing thought to end on. Thank you so much for exploring this with me.
It was a pleasure.